Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
It's B-Dot.
B-Dot. We got Styles P here, man, your buddy.
Yeah. The ignorant and negative nigga.
Hey, man. Hey, my brothers, how y'all doing, man?
Feeling good,
Yo, it's
Pete.
Ghost Radar, baby.
Ghost Radar, man.
So what are you tapping into specifically with, like, let's say Dimebag, like your latest release?
Dimebag, I just wanted to be like, I kind of just felt like I just needed to make an album where people know lyrically I'm always up to par, but I still got an ear for beats. If you like do the homework, like I can rhyme over soft
What was it, the Ray J
R&B.
one back in the day? I feel
Ray
like
J
you tore
back
that
in the
down.
days.
Yeah.
I've done Fantasia.
Wait a minute,
I've
maybe
done
wait a minute.
That was the diss.
Yeah.
I'll leave it
I've
with your
done,
motherfucking kids.
I've done, yeah.
Wait, who's he dissing?
That was the state property.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody.
That was hot. Back in the
Love,
day.
though,
It's
yeah.
all love now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think when you're an MC, you gotta, especially when you get a certain thing, you just gotta realize what lane you in. Like, you know what I mean? For me, a big part of my shit is, I just want you to say Ghost could rhyme.
Yeah.
Like, that's my main
But why is
thing.
it so important to hang on to that?
More
Like
than-
what
'cause
happens?
That's what I came for.
Yeah.
That's what I came in the door for. Like, so everything for me is a plus. Anything else that happens besides somebody saying you got a good rhyme is either a plus or negative that I live with, because I didn't expect to be here. Like, I'm feel to this day, even with so many years in the game, sometimes I reflect and go, oh shit, I actually like made it. Like, I could have been in jail. Like, I lucked up. Like, God made sure I lucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I never look at, like, you going through some, or you need inspiration, or you want to hear something hard, or you want to hear something conscious. I like have a certain style.
So is
I
it
don't
almost
feel
like in 2018 you look up and that lane and a certain level is open because you represent a certain essence?
it's really, like 2018, so many great MCs dropped, and it was just like, listening, you hearing Black Thought, you hearing Royce, J-Rock, Nip, J. Cole, Spitter, East. It was so many people, like, it was just getting beyond the point of, like, Smoke Dizzle was spitting. It was so many people just spitting. It was just like, whoa, like, fuck everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Niggas is back on some bar shit. I need in. Like, I don't, like, on the year of bars, you're not gonna be like, Ghost took a year off on a year of bars. I want you to say, he rhymes dope.
Was
Yeah.
it something that you would change, like, I guess, within your career or how your approach is in the game?
If I was to change anything in my career, that's like always a hard question to answer, because the things that you went through makes you the man you are today. The things that you went through in the past makes you who you are. But if I would say anything, is I would have, at times that I was ignorant, that was unnecessary to people that didn't have to go through that, which I feel is not too much, but it's definitely there somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I feel bad for that, and I wish I could take it back. And that's the one thing I really regret, because the most efficient way to be is silent and staying out the way where people don't really see you. And I kind of knew that, but I think my diet and just my atmosphere, what I was around, what the time I was on, kind of was prohibiting that.
Yeah, you
know
credit
what I mean?
some of the health changes you've made. I mean, obviously, for people that
Yeah,
don't know,
definitely.
plant-based
Plant-based diet.
and a lot of juices.
A lot
and,
of
like,
juices. Keep me calm.
You said that's
It
changed
keeps me
your
calm.
life.
It keeps me reserved. Like, you know what I mean? It gives me a balance of, you know, I rhyme really wild. So that means anybody who
I'm an
rhymes
ignorant,
wild,
negative
pretty
nigga.
much, I possess the capability of thinking very wild. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being outside, I possess a kind of switch that if something's happening, I don't really, like, if you cross me and you try to harm me, I
green
don't
light
really,
go.
like, that's when that switch hit. I'm not thinking about anything of how you feel, and I could smoke right after and just chill. But then it kind of made me realize that's not a way to think. Then as a father, a husband, a businessman, and just a brown man, period, you got to start really thinking about those things when it comes to your future, especially when you're in the field and you outside and you're amongst people in both worlds. See, most people from the rap world understand rap world, and most people from the street world understand street world. It's a big difference when you got to mix them both up.
Absolutely.
And it could kind of drive you insane if you don't have good people around you, balance, and just a positive way of being, and say, let me keep myself level-headed.
Right. It seems like even with this project, and even hearing you talk in interviews, it seems like you're very self-aware about your place in the game. And even on like certain tracks like Marie Antoinette or Self-Made, you had like a line where you said you're going to die a legend, you're going to fade with the time.
Yeah.
Like, are you just very conscious about your legacy and what you mean
I
to the
think
game?
so. I think my legacy for me is just to leave a nice catalog of bars behind, because I feel like that's the most I could do. Like anything else, like for me personally, it doesn't really matter. I don't really give a fuck about what you said about how I dressed, where I lived, who I hung with, what I did. Like that shit don't matter to me. Like it matters to me if like my core fans too, especially.
Who's a Styles P fan?
I think I have a very wide fan. That's what's kind of weird. Like, cause my fan base is wide range. Yeah. I have like white people, young white people, college white people, old white people, extremely hood dudes, conscious people, stoners.
Don't forget the
golden era rap fans. Right. So I think I'm pretty well versed.
You had this one line you said, "I've been told you I'm a wolf. Don't give a fuck about a goat."
Yeah,
and that was on Money and Checks.
Yeah, I think everybody focuses on being the greatest of all times. And I don't I think the greatest of all times in this rap thing, that goes for many people. I don't think that could ever really go
to one single person.
I think that's impossible, and I think that's what the net, Twitter, Instagram brings up. Like one person has to be the greatest. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just with rap, that's kind of impossible for what rap and hip hop stands for alone, just for how global it is, how many people it reaches, how diverse it is, how you have to include it from the bottom of the slums to big industry right now in 2018. Like, so
does it change when it's a great groups conversation and for your love for
I think it's a lot. There's so many great groups. Like definitely L.O.X, we go in the books, but if you was to personally ask me, were we the greatest group of all times, I would say yeah, but not for rap reasons. I would tell you yeah because we're loyal and we're brothers and we never let the game cross us. But there's so many groups that just paved the way and just besides paving the way, paved the path for just great bars and great music. I think hip hop is a very broad thing. It's very competitive, but you have to respect everybody who puts their work in.
Yeah, what made you connect with Dave East and form a group there? Like, and what have you gotten out of that experience?
Well, that's my baby bro. Like, I speak to East a lot. I felt like he was the carrying the flag of what we do, like the younger generation, and what we want to say we lay it down. It's in good hands with somebody who kind of understands New York City culture, street-wise, music-wise, knows how to infuse it all in. And his humbleness was really, real cool. And we would just chop it up over the phone about real life shit, mostly. So when it came around to do Beloved, it was pretty easy. It was like, let's get in the studio, knock a couple joints out, then a couple joints just turned to Beloved real fast.
It looks like you guys are really repping it, like as a group.
Yeah,
it wasn't like just doing a record.
No, we didn't want to do something. We didn't want to do something where it was like, yo, we doing it for the gram, or we doing it for looks, or like you notice you didn't even see pictures of us like, yo, we in the lab.
Yeah,
it was none of that. It was like, nah, it was like, it was real talk, because it was like, all right, you the future of New York, I'm an old veteran. You got to prove yourself to my crowd. I got to prove myself to your crowd, because there's young people who don't know my track record. They don't know that. Like young people, if they don't really know or into you, and somebody doesn't tell them or they don't take that time to hit the catalog, they kind of don't know. Mm-hmm. And I learned that years ago from when I did the collab with Spitter, with Currency. I seen that a lot of his fans kind of really didn't know about me.
Yeah.
But then they liked me, and then they was going back on other shit like, oh shit. So. And as like an older MC, you got to understand, you got to want to work your brain. Like you no longer in that position. Once you're no longer the hottest, you're supposed to work on making a legendary catalog and leaving something great behind. It's kind of like the block. I look at it like outside. Like if I was outside and I was on that corner, I should be in a different spot right now. So whoever's on that corner, I shouldn't want to step on his toes. I should want to tell him how to get through this corner and get to the next spot instead of trying to be in his position. Like, you know what I mean? I've done that position. Yeah. I've been there. I think
you've been
as
the hot
MCs,
New York rap, young
as
New York
MCs,
rapper,
you got to kind of like, I think that's hard for any MC to adjust to, and I think a lot of dudes don't adjust to it or see the window. He's the future. Like for me as an MC personally, like besides that being my babe bro and we having a connection, it was like, this is something we have to do for the city, for each generation. Like you got to hold down that younger generation. I got to hold down my generation, and we got to show that we nice to each generation, each of us as an individual. And we got to be competitive. We not going in this shit on no friendly shit. Like
Right.
once we get to this lab and this door closed, it's me and you together with one common goal, but we understood like we sparring, like we lyrically sparring. This is not a. I'm not coming here for you to be doper than me and your fans be like, yeah, he smoke old head.
What was your favorite session from that?
Pretty
situation?
much all of it, because I like. That's how I think why the body of work came out sounding how it came out sounding. The first session was actually the Vinny Idol song, which you heard East set off. So that's how the project started. So I was like, okay. Like, you know, sitting there smoking, we running through beats. I'm like, you know, pick the Vinny one. And he was in his bag quick, like, I mean, fast too. So I'm like, okay, this where we taking it, and it's cool. Like, you know what I mean?
I like the It's Lit record and the Exotic one.
Yeah, the Exotic one you were saying is what stands us too.
So it was just pretty much a good time because we had a very hood yet business yet musical atmosphere. So it's like all the homies, his set was there, my set was there, all the homies combined, chilling. Yeah. They merging, we talking sports, we talking music, we smoking, we working out. You know, we drinking bark, we drinking joints from the juice bar, other juice bars. So we was in that zone, but when we get in that room, it's me, East, and Poobs, or me, East, and Dazel in the beat in New York City,
right?
In mine, in the East Coast in general, because you just, you know, we said we want to get something that the world's gonna respect and G's from everywhere, but it got to be a notion when they hear it, they got to know this is guys really giving you their stories in different time eras too.
It's interesting because we talk about Davies being the future, and listening on to Marie Antoinette on the Don Bag album, you said you had this line where you said whack rappers shouldn't be breathing, you know, at least not around me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, how do you define a whack rapper in 2018?
I mean, for me, that's just me talking real extreme shit as MC.
But just in general though, like.
But I think if you don't say nothing that grabs a person, I mean, that really makes you want to think. Like, for me, I feel like there's a big difference between a rapper and an MC. Because you and Yellow nigga could rap.
I think we disagree on this though, right?
I mean, you could. Yeah. You could say cat, hat, bat, sat,
I
rap.
need somebody write me a good 16.
And you rap. But rhyming, I think they'll be able to MC, you know, and rhyme at a rate where it grabs someone and forces them to think and go, wow, he put that together very witty.
Also delivery, enunciation,
over a beat,
everything.
Yeah, with the timing and just to be able to make you think, like, you know what I'm saying?
So do you ever get writer's block? Like, how do you stay inspired? You ever worry that where's this vault?
I get blocks here. I definitely get blocks here and there. For me, it's pick up a book or watch various films. For me, that's my whole formula anyway, to be honest with you. I try to read. I try to just be involved with creativity and words at the same time. Like anything where people are being creative with words. So most likely, what's funny is when I have a block, I don't go to music. If I do go to music, I'm most likely playing Marvin Gaye or Biggie. Like, or some very old, like James Brown, Marvin, Curtis, Biggs, Life After Death. Because for me, that's always the MC standard of glow mode. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you could just get in a tune of just hearing how to hit every pocket, every formula, even if you get halfway there, you're all right.
Is that why you tweeted, you said Dead Rappers Ghost wrote Dime Bag?
Yeah, I always feel like I chant. I mean, for me, I think a lot of MCs, without knowing it, channel a lot. I think we channel our ancestors, we channel spirits, we channel gods, we channel other things that's out there. Anything where you have a creative source, you're tapping into something bigger than you, because you're tapping into energy. And it's not just my energy around. Like, so when I'm in a room, it's not just my energy. And I think when you start realizing in life that everything has some sort of energy, and then when you're sitting in the room, you really start tapping into it all. Like, and you start really, like, I always tell you guys on the side, I respect what you do, how you do it.
Right.
Because you play with words. Your job is to play with words and be able to put out a creative article or pull out a great interview from someone else, and you have to use words to do that. So any job where you're using words, somehow you have to tap in That's the mightiest thing. Like the tongue is mighty and the sword any given day of the week.
Yeah.
So to tap into words, that's how we communicate. Like just on a normal basis, that's how you talk to your child, your loved one, your anything, and it's the words. And when you have a way of communicating, you have a way with words. That's something you could pull off from anywhere. So when I feel tapped out, it's usually a book, old film. I read something. I just try to get into other creative zones.
Can you listen to some of your old music?
You know, if I'm with the homies and they playing, I don't tell them to turn it off.
Yeah.
I listen to it and I try to see if I think I got better, where I could get better if I was raw, like you know. And then after that, like I'm on to the next. I'd rather have a beat playing or listen to somebody else shit and just go, all right, it's back in work mode.
Yeah. You did take the time to acknowledge Gangster and a Gentleman though, because that must be special. 2002.
Yeah, that was
album.
That was my first joint. For me, that was very important because I just wanted to describe who I was to the world.
Yeah.
Even outside of hip hop, all the greats give you who they are. That first album, like they say, this is who I am. I know who I am. I'm telling you who I am, and do you fuck with it or not? And if you don't, it don't even matter. But this is who I am.
So
and I
a
think
gangster and a gentleman.
Yeah, I live by those. I live by those standards.
Even today.
Even today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people view gangster in many different ways. Like me, I don't just take gangster as a street dude selling crack, robberies, Jackson, all that. Like I would have told you Obama's a gangster. I would have told you Trump's a gangster. I tell you Malcolm's a gangster.
It's political power.
I tell you Martin's a gangster. I tell you the guy who works 2 jobs, legal jobs, busting his ass, paying all his bills, taking public transportation's a gangster. I tell you the single parent mothers who's doing all they gotta do to get that. Like, so I think my outlook of gangster is pretty much different from, I think people just think street dude. Like I think it's a person with will,
like a powerful work
discipline,
ethic.
a powerful work ethic that makes you who you are, and for me that makes me a gangster and a gentleman. Because I got to be on the streets.
Yeah.
I got to do business. I got to do music. I'm an entrepreneur.
When you look back on that album, is there particular songs that you feel like represent that you were able to tell your story at that time and like really
probably the whole album, because I think every man's story changes every few years.
Yeah.
Like you physically stop growing at a certain age, but I think mentally and spiritually, if you're on a journey, you really never stop growing. So when I look back, it makes me reflect on, you know, who I was as a young man, what I came from, what I've done, and then where I am now, and then pretty much where I should be going or where I'm headed. Like, you know what I mean? And I pretty much look at it like the beginning of my professional journey and the beginning of my journey of actually bearing and sharing my soul with others.
Yeah.
You know, because as you become an artist, I have to give you my soul when I get on a mic. So when I go in the studio, you get me in my, you know, you see, I'm pretty much an open book. I tell you, I'm 180 negative, I'm 180 positive, and I'm pretty much just trying to stay on a 180 positive.
I'm glad we got
I
positive.
don't understand. I won't never tell you that I'm like not 180 negative. Like I'm just trying to not work with the 180 negative.
Well, we got over the negative. You
Yeah,
and
like, you
B
know what I
Dot had
mean?
some issues in
You
the
dissed the
past.
shit out of me.
When did I diss you, B-Dot?
On the freestyle, bring them
No,
things.
that wasn't.
That was a fucking diss.
Ghost Radar.
Nah, but that was.
You called me a dickhead.
For a lot of people, I was looking at the comments, not so much you, because you know I'm an egotistical prick sometimes too.
You're a
I'm trying to
rapper.
get it balanced.
I get
I'm
it.
working on
Yes,
the balance.
baby.
I'm pretty cool though. I think I'm one of the most coolest,
course.
down to earth, humble MCs you can meet. But I'm egotistical when it comes to my craft. I'm a
Absolutely.
very cocky
proud.
dude. Like there's not. I personally think Big was better than me.
Okay.
The buck stops there with me. I'm just being honest with you. For me personally, you can have your opinion, he can have your
Right.
and I'll say you're entitled to that because that's
Except
hip-hop,
like the greats of the 80s. You give Rakim the
oh yeah, those
greats
are
of
my
the 80s.
forefathers. They
forefathers.
trained me. Those are my grandmasters. I would never say I'm better than those.
Rakim, Kane.
Those are
G-Rap,
I don't compare myself to them because there's no me without them.
But
those
in
are the
this modern
forefathers
thing,
of what I do.
But
I would never sit here and tell you that I think anybody else from the mid 90s to now is better than me lyrically. I just honestly, in my heart, don't believe that. And I don't knock you if you do believe that as a person. But for somebody who thinks that I'm not in the race or that I'm not in the thing, you got to check my track record.
No, well, Pete, this is what happened.
Like, look who I rhymed with. Like, look at my catalog and go, wait. Who has he rhymed? Like, really, like, go look at my catalog and go,
you rhyme with
out
everybody.
of the great MCs, who has he rhymed alongside
Who's ever
of?
murdered you on a record?
Nobody.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm an MC. No one ever asks me who I think is the most dangerous MC out right now. Mm-hmm. For me personally, like right now, the most dangerous MC and to get on a track with him is like, you got to wake up, you got to read a book, you got to watch film, you got to stretch, you got to think, you got to eat fruit, you got to get a good meal, you got to jog, you got to do everything. You gotta be on here, Dean, because
he might be exhausted before you get to the studio.
He's Jedi level.
Damn.
He's like the Jedi of the Jedi.
I don't know.
Who's the Jedi of the Jedi?
Right now?
Like one
outside
of them.
Of the three-headed
monster? There's a few
monster?
of them.
I mean, you're talking about the three-headed monster, right? Or outside of them, like the usual suspect.
Who are you talking about as the three-headed monster?
In the game right now, Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Right
they
now.
Jedis, but I wasn't even talking about
So
them.
who you talking about, Pete?
They young Jedis. Kendrick and Cole in a different slot than Drake, though.
Okay.
Let's not get that started again. Styles.
I'm not getting started by
your mentions are gonna go on
I
fire.
just say I love Drake. He's a huge star. I think he's the bigger star than Kendrick and Cole.
Yeah.
But on Jedi level, I got to give it to them a little more just from background.
So who's the guy that gotta?
Black Thought is ultimate Jedi. He's dangerous.
Talking about bars, just bars.
I'm talking about bars, just raw. He's born bars. Like, I'm born bars. Like, you understand? I'm a bar machine. Every time I see Black Thought, he like, and I think because of his content and where he goes is so far out that you have to be so smart. I think the average person may not even understand what they're hearing.
And it's the thing is also
when they
dangerous.
hear him,
it comes off as very off the head and effortless too. That's the
so
thing too.
effortless. That's
it
what
seems
makes
like
him
it. That's what makes it dangerous.
so dangerous. So I think in a word, like Royce is very dangerous right now. Very dangerous. He's very poisonous right now.
True.
These are guys you got to wake up early with and get.
Yeah.
So I think there's always times in rap where there's somebody very super dangerous, where the dangerous people know and don't want to give kudos and say, yo, that guy's fucking dangerous right now.
See, but
I'm glad we got out of the bad boy battle with this.
but because we never really addressed it officially. Because
no, you got that right though, Peter.
No,
you
but
was a good guy.
The conversation started because Charlamagne hit us on the group chat and said, "Yo,
this is probably gonna be the end. This is gonna be the closure."
We never discussed it. He said that Mace is in the top 5 bad boy. I said it's bullshit, right? We talk about bad boy artists. Let me
bad
explain
boy artists.
Right.
I heard the convo.
Right.
Peter. You left me out.
And
I was
Obey
in
was
it.
there. And then, of course, Charlamagne said, Styles, I ranked you guys. I said, if you're talking bad boy, I said Biggie's number 1. I put Jadakiss at number 2. And I said Mace at number 3. And you after Mace. And that's when the whole shit unraveled. But it was never a slight at you or
I don't take it as a slight.
Okay.
You really, that's where I really want to get the things. I am a cocky MC.
You should be.
You open the lane for me, I got to take the shot. But I personally feel with everyone with rap, you are due your opinion.
Absolutely.
Everybody is not, and I think this fucking Instagram and Twitter and the net makes us feel like we have to be robots and have the same fucking opinion. Like, we do not have to have the same opinion. What you was doing from 18 to 24 may have been totally fucking different from what I was doing from 18 to 24. What you may have been doing from 12 to 24 may have been totally different. So when you hear artists, you may hear something different than what I'm hearing, vice versa. Like, that's what the beautiful thing about music is. The connection of when you hear something and go, yo, that's my shit. Like, I fucks with that. I fucks with that tough more than everybody. Not that with like, I don't really pretty much have the same opinion with anybody on anything in life. Period. Some people, some things, but I think that's what makes us individuals. Like, I think and we get lost in that. Like, I truly believe that Biggie's the best. But if you told me you believe Hov or Nas is the best, I can't. That's your argument to have. I'm gonna argue with you. I'm gonna go bars, say the bars I think is better, the songs I think is better. But really, in all right, like this whole shit is a circle. Like let's say Rakim, Kool G, Kane, KRS open the door for the next generation, but there's no Nas without them.
Right.
The Nas opened the door for Biggie and Hov.
Yeah, can't put Jay on.
And yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So even however you map this thing out, or however you look at it strategically, if you was to say to me Nas is the best, I can't really argue with you because he's definitely one of the greatest of all times.
Yeah.
And he opened the door for every single one of us. Big, Hov. Kane did put Hov on, but I'm talking about that night, that era when it was coming in.
94, yeah.
Nas kicked that door open for us. Like everybody.
Of,
the
of that new generation at that time.
Like, and then all of those widened the door for everybody. But that kid from Kool G made the door there for Nas to kick.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think is the key to longevity, though? Because you was in an era where there were other great MCs of the East Coast that had their runs, shorter runs, but like
I think craftsmanship and I think you got to stick to your craft, and you can't let your ego get in the way, and you have to peep the algorithms going on. Like it's really, you got to peep the speed and the momentum of everything that's happening around you, and you got to know the hamster wheel's gonna go around, the clock's gonna go around, and you ain't always gonna be at midnight. You ain't always gonna be at midnight. Stay in the clock though. Stay on the clock.
Has social media helped you with that? Because I still love you on Twitter. Like I think you're
yeah, I gotta step my gram up though. I can't get. I'm trying. Like it's too much to do everything. Yeah. Like, I think it does because it gives people insight into who you are as an individual. I think a lot of people may have thought about me one way, or thought I was a certain type of individual, and I guess seeing you on social media kind of opens and broadens the lens to see who you are. But I think at that same time, that gives a lot of artists, because a lot of people really, and this is what you got to understand as an artist, this is something I had to peep too. The new fans don't give a fuck about my raps. I got new fans that just want to watch what kind of weed is SP gonna get. We know he's a pothead. Oh shit, we know he gonna put on a dope pair of kicks here and there. Let me see that.
What's the outfit?
Yeah. Let me. What is he gonna say on Twitter? What juice is he drinking? What's his vegan life like? And then my bars might be last with some people. So understanding that, you got to kind of look at the whole game and go, okay, this might be that, but I don't want to let that overwhelm me. Play all of these shits and then forget my craft.
So what's like the essential, I guess, Styles P verse or song that you kind of hang your hat on?
For myself?
Yeah.
I ain't do it yet.
Really?
I ain't make it yet. Because I feel like once you feel you comfortable in hanging your hat, you eased up. I think I gotta, I don't want to be doing this shit forever. That's one thing about me. Like
Rappers never retire, man.
There's a lot of things I want to do. I'm not gonna retire. Okay. I just want to come off the bench and relax. I want to coach, come off the bench.
4 projects every year.
Maybe a year or two more of that. Maybe a year or two more of that. But I kind of want to do a lot of things. Like, you know what I mean? And I think.
Yeah, you said I have mad jobs, but not enough as far as I'm concerned.
Not enough as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm like, SP's doing everything. What are you talking about?
I need more. I've never been wealthy.
What do you mean?
I've never been wealthy. I've been wealthy spiritually and physically and mentally. I've never been financially wealthy. I've been rich.
Is there a dollar amount for wealthy?
I think so.
What's the amount?
When you can't get broke. I think that's wealthy. When you can't. You could go rich and go poor. I've done that plenty of times, B-Dot. That's the thing. Like, I've been rich and poor a lot, dog. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I know how to be rich.
Right.
Then something might happen. I might get poor. But I know how to get rich again because I'm a worker, because I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to keep doing this cycle.
Wealthy the finish line, wealthy sitting the finish line.
I think once I get wealthy, I don't think I'm going to fuck that up. I don't see myself fucking that up because I've been rich and poor enough to understand what I'm doing to get rich and poor.
Yeah.
And I think when I get wealthy, and because I think wealthy is, one, I'm already wealthy because like I said, I'm wealthy in soul.
Right.
I'm wealthy
Wife,
in spirit.
kids,
I'm
everything,
wealthy.
yeah.
Like if
Family.
I die today, I die like a king. I'm
Yeah.
a brown god. I'm a king. I live well. I'm thankful to the Creator for all I've got, all I've done. I know it's way more than I should have had, so I'm thankful. But as far as my goal, I want to build something that I can say we could leave behind as a people. I want juices for life, pharmacy for life, to be a brand in every state in different countries. I want to be able to speak to hedge fund people, know the language, work out deals, open different businesses, and because I want to spread health first and foremost. And I feel with doing that, I kind of understand in the last few years of just doing the juice, that power also lies in who you align with and how many intelligent, resourceful people you know and you deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I don't feel like I'm not in a spot where I'm doing that enough. And I know that's what needs to be done to do what I want to do. Being rich ain't good enough. And that's what I want to do. I want to do shit where I could say I could give back to community in a great way, and which I am doing now.
Yeah.
But I think if I was wealthy, I would figure out more ways to do it in a more impactful way where it's really effective and just kind of change your mind. Because that's what really this juice shit is about. You know, I love this. You know my background. You know I'm from the streets. You know, none of that shit is cool, and none of it is effective in a long run. Like, and we do glorify it in the music, and so does everyone in entertainment. America loves entertainment. I do understand that the bigger cause is to build and, like, you know what I mean. And I'm still a very ghetto dude. I still love ghetto shit. I still love doing it, but I don't like the jail system. I don't like seeing kids go to jail unnecessarily, especially when there's so much money you could get right now and not go to jail. And I just don't like seeing I wasted time in my life, so I don't want to see no other young dude kind of waste time. And I've been fortunate enough to make money and live a great life wasting time, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So me kind of knowing that, I just want to kind of build and work more.
Has Puff's like entrepreneurial acumen rubbed off on you?
I think so. I would definitely say, because I think that motivated me from young, even when I disliked him. At times, I love Puff. That's my brother. Because Puff is a great motivation for me, because he's a billionaire who calls me often, hits me up often, no music involved. Just like, what you doing, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And even Hove hits me here and there, like, do what you're doing. So those are two brothers I'm thankful for that even put more of a battery in my back to say, if those kind of dudes could tell me, you standing up, you doing the right thing. Now I'm looking at, I'm doing the right thing, but let me do more of the right thing. So I think, that'll get to the bucks.
I think the great thing too is even if you get that next business venture that makes you wealthy, right? Like, and you continue to grow as a strong businessman, I think you'll always come back to the music. A lot of times we see hip hop artists like get it richer than other
also,
ventures.
I have a son who does music too, so you got to understand what it's like I'll be 44. Or actually, this month. Yeah. I'll be 44 this month on the 28th. And my son, he was actually on Beloved.
Is this the same son that's on package work for
Gangster and the Gentleman?
Wow.
Yeah. He's on Beloved. He's on Dime Bag. He's on G-Host. He's on Nickel Bag. He makes beats. He engineers. He raps. He does hooks. He does melodies. Wow. So I don't want to be the dad that's trying to stay on and missing the window for my little man too and getting him in the thing. I'm trying to work on balance consistently. My balance ain't the greatest. Like, I try though, but I think I can get a balance to where I could pretty much, stay healthy and you hear my shit and you hear it hungry, but also get them young people that's gonna pave the way for the future in the door. So for me, that's the foundation for what we trying to do. Oh, let me shout out all my shit,
please.
Yeah, we was on Black Love, on me and the wife. Check that out. Oh, yeah, you didn't. Two Jews, two black dudes review the movie. Shout out to It's the Real. Yep. Shout out to Sheik Luch. Shout out to Kiss. He comes when he wants. You know how that goes. It's all love. Get ready for
your podcast.
Get ready for my podcast, Close to the Concrete. And make sure you check out all the dope rap albums of 2018 from all the dope artists besides myself. It was a lot of dope shit. Support hip hop, support mumble rap, support all that shit. Nah, I'm serious, because it's young brown men making money. If you like it, it's your cup of tea. Make sure you spend your money for it. Support the artist, and if not, just spread the word.
And you still love Rap Radar too.
I love Rap Radar. Y'all didn't want to give me the. I told you I wanted the occasional job up here. I'm gonna do a shameless plug. Is that cool?
That's fine.
Get ready for my Close to the Concrete podcast.
Okay.
It's gonna be a lot of
Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving Day. It's gonna be
Who
a lot of.
promoted? You part of
Yeah,
it's
it's
part
gonna
of
be.
why you're a guest
Shout
here.
out to Flex. Shout out to whole vein.
Okay.
And shout out to most of all hip hop and the hip hop community and people with bars who feel like bars are left out. You're gonna have I'm gonna make sure that light little window is open where we keep it creative and we keep it honest.
It's a freestyle podcast? What is it?
Nah, I'm not. You gonna see. It's gonna be a little bit about what
Okay.
y'all do, a little bit
Okay.
what I do, a little bit of mixture of a lot of things. But I just wanted to be a raw. I want to interview MCs and give the raw interview that questions that an MC want to ask.
Yeah.
So outside of your own projects, what is the one definitive album of the year? Do you have one?
It's a few of them. I'm gonna spread it out.
It's a tie.
It's for different reasons.
Okay.
Nipsey, Victory Lap was crazy. Book of Ryan was insane.
Cocaine was
I need
great.
that. I hear Royce. We need that cocaine single release
That was
video.
that was crazy. J-Rock's Redemption was out of this world.
It's hard.
For the thing, I think they all meant something to me in a different way, so it's
Gotcha.
hard for me to give them one. Cold shit was fire. Black Thought shit was fire. East killed it. And Beloved.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Kissing Freddie versus Jason.
That was last year though, right?
That was last year.
Yeah.
That was in 2018.
Yeah.
That was 2017.
I'm fucking hot. Luch put out the Gorilla series.
True.
It was a lot of dope shit. But fuck with me for 2018. I'm that nigga.
Yeah. SP. Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah, it is.